He closed his eyes in silence and opened them to a truth that shattered human history. Jonas slammed his palm onto the relic's obsidian surface. Cold metal bit into his skin. He shut his eyes for 1 second, steadying his breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Salvage routine, nothing more. Jonah, read, the relic whispered. His eyes snapped open. Holographic tendrils erupted from the seal, weaving blue light across the salvage bay. They pulsed like veins, sinking to his heartbeat. The air hummed with data streams no scanner had ever mapped. Dr. Sarah Kwan gasped beside him. Her tablet beeped. Live recording active. It's responding. Precursor interface. Jonah, you're in. Captain Ilan Sato gripped the bulkhead rail. Secure that feed. We're not losing this. The light intensified. Symbols bloomed in Jonah's vision, not projected but implanted, direct neural link. He saw star maps, ancient, human faces, unmodified by gene mods, ships that dwarfed modern fleets. Ancestors, he muttered. His fingers tingled. The relic fed him sequences, activation codes, buried histories. Humans built this, not aliens, not precursors, us. Envoy Kef Taller shoved forward from the observation deck. The alien's iridescent scales flared red. Agitation. Human! Release contact. Treaty Article 7. Xenotech yields to coalition oversight. Jonah ignored him. The interface deepened. Memories flooded. A war. Lost colonies. A great silence imposed. Humans erased their own legacy to survive. Sarah tapped furiously. Uploading now. Public nets. All relays. Alarms blared. The bay door slammed shut. Red lockdown lights bathed the room. Director Mara Vance's voice boomed from speakers. Blackout initiated. Cut all transmissions. Read. Step away. That's an order. Jonah's hand fused to the relic. Not physically, but the link held. He pulled. It resisted. Sarah, status? 60% uploaded, she said. They're jamming outbound. Sato drew his sidearm. Vance. This is Sato. My ship. My bay. You locked us in without clearance. Captain, stand down. The ESD claims jurisdiction. That relic's a security asset. Keth's claws clicked on the deck. No. Coalition claim supersedes. The protocols match Forerunner signatures. Humans trigger nothing. This defies scans. Jonah focused. The light obeyed, forming a shield bubble around him and Sarah. Sato stepped inside. Keth lunged, bounced off. Impossible, Keth hissed. His translator glitched. Neural lock requires psi augments. Humans lack. Not psi, Jonah said. He breathed steady again. The relic purred approval. Just focus. Vance's face appeared on the bay screen, sharp features framed by her directorate uniform. Read, you're a salvage grunt, not a hero. Release it, or I vent the bay. Sarah yanked a cable from her tablet, plugging direct into the relic. Backup streaming through Sato's aux drive. We get this out. The galaxy knows. Sato nodded. Engines hot. We jump if needed. Jonah delved deeper. The interface showed it. Precursors fled a galaxy-wide purge. They hid tech in human DNA. Subtle triggers, meditation states, breath control. Everyday human tricks evolved over millennia. Aliens chased ghosts. Humans walked past the keys. A memory hit. His grandmother's stories. Breathe deep, boy. Find your center. Cultural scraps from Earth-old traditions. Betrayal flashed. Vance's logs pulled from the relic scan. ESD new fragments. They buried digs. Silenced techs. Power blocks hoarded it for weapons. They're selling it, Jonah said aloud, to the highest bidder. Keth's eyes widened. Compound lenses whirring. You access archives? No species breaches without keys. What are you? Human, Jonah replied. The shield pulsed stronger. Vance's screen flickered. Read. Last chance. Sarah hit upload complete. It's out. Public nets have it. The relic chimed. Full sync. Jonah saw the truth. Ancient humanity seeded the galaxy. Lost tech waited in every human mind. Comfortable lies crumbled. Humanity wasn't new. They were returning. Bulkhead groaned. ESD breach teams hammered outside. Sato sealed his helmet. Suit up. We move. Keth backed away. This awakens the silence. Protocols demand quarantine. Jonah pried his hand free. The relic dimmed but hummed. Linked, now portable. No quarantine. Truth first. Vance's voice cut sharp. Teams, breach on my mark. Explosions rocked the bay. Smoke billowed. Sato fired, suppressing. Sarah clutched the relic shard now glowing in her pack. Jonah grabbed a toolkit. Captain, Aux Bay. Your shuttle. They bolted. Keth pursued, claws scraping. Read the sequence, share it. Find your own breath, Jonah shot back. Laser fire scorched the corridor. ESD troops poured in, armored stun batons crackling. Sato spun, dropping 2. Go, I'll hold. No, Jonah activated a relic pulse. Lights flickered galaxy-wide on station monitors. Every system glitched, human tech resonating. Troops froze, helmets sparking. Neural feedback. Sarah whooped. It's broadcasting. They piled into the shuttle. Engines roared. Sato punched controls. The craft shuddered free. Station dwindling. Vance's face reappeared on comms. You just started a war, Reed. Come back. We control the narrative. Jonah stared at the relic in his lap. It whispered names, his ancestors. Too late. Keth's shuttle signal pinged. Pursuit vector. Alien fleets would mobilize. Human blocks fracture. Sarah leaned in. Public feeds exploding. Proofs viral. Humanity's legacy. Ours. Jonah nodded. His breath steadied. The galaxy shifted. But the relic pulsed warning. Deeper layers. Weapons. Alliances. The choice loomed. Truth or power. Alarms wailed. Incoming fire. Sato banked hard. Strap in. This ride's rough. Jonah gripped tight. The stars blurred. Legacy unlocked. Now the race began. Guards slammed Jonah into the lab chair. Restraints clicked tight around his wrists. It's a contagion, Reed, Director Vance said. Her voice cut through the hum of shielded walls. Only humans react. Only you activate it. Repeat the sequence. Now. 2 ESD troopers flanked her. Stun batons ready. A third monitored vitals from a console. No windows. No signals out. The relic shard sat on a pedestal, dark and waiting. Jonah met her gaze. You saw the pulse. Every human system glitched. Let Sarah document it clean. Vance leaned in. Doctor, Quan is contained. You are the key. Activate, or we dissect why it infects your kind. He exhaled slow. No choice. The breathing pattern came natural. Steady inhales, 4 counts hold, controlled release. Salvage engineers used it for zero focus, nothing special. The shard ignited. Blue light bloomed. Hollow projection filled the lab, a star map, precise. Human space sprawled. Colonies, outposts, fringe worlds, red markers pulsed at buried sites, thousands, hidden under cities, moons, asteroid belts. Troopers froze. One whispered, precursor vaults. Everywhere. Vance's eyes narrowed. Lock it down. Coordinates to secure channels only. Jonah strained against restraints. It's our legacy. Not your asset. Alarms beeped soft. Sarah Quan stood in the corner, half hidden by a scan rig. She'd posed as tech support. Her wrist comm blinked once. Data packet away. Partial map capture, smuggled to Sato's ship. Emergency extraction queued. Director, Sarah said. Voice steady. Samples first. Protocol. Vance waved her off. Later. The lab door burst open. Envoy Keth Taller strode in, claws clicking on tile. His envoy robe swirled. Behind him, alien aides clutched data slates. Director Vance, Keth said. Voice modulated calm. This breaches observation accords. That map matches forbidden archives. Vance straightened. Observer status revoked. Out. Keth ignored her. Fixed on Jonah. Read. Your respiration code? It's keyed to the old ones. We archived warnings. Cycles ago, they vanished. Humans carry their echo. Awakening it risks cascade extinction. He thrust a slate forward. Hollow played. Grainy alien footage. Vast ships crumbling. Worlds cracking. A voiceover in fractured trade. Breath seals broken. Legacy consumes. Jonah stared. The pattern matched his. Human normal. Show unedited files. All of them. Keth hesitated. Claws flexed. They implicate your blocks. Earth Directorate buried precursors to claim tech solo. Others weaponized shards. Vance snatched the slate. Lies. Guards. Sarah's comm buzzed faint. Jonah caught the signal. Sato inbound. Troopers advanced on Keth. Jonah tensed. Breathed deep. Involuntary now. The shard resonated. Lab lights flickered. Consoles sparked. Neural feedback, a trooper gasped, clutching his helmet. Vance barked. Stun him! Battens raised. Sarah dashed to Jonah's side, grabbed the shard. Now! Jonah wrenched free. Restraints glitched loose. He lunged, toolkit snatched from the bench. Punched a trooper's visor, sparks flew. Keth backed up. The warnings, heed them! Find your own breath, Jonah snapped. Laser fire cracked. Sarah fired her stolen sidearm, suppressing. The shard glowed hot in her pack. Alarms wailed station-wide. Aug Bay. Sato Shuttle, Jonah yelled. They bolted. Keth pursued. Claws scraping deck. Reed, share the sequence. Vance's voice boomed over speakers. Seal sectors. Contagion protocol. Corridor lights strobed. ESD troops poured in. Armored, batons crackling. Sato's voice cut through Jonah's earpiece. Hacked channel. Docking in 60. Extraction hot. Captain Elon Sato gripped the shuttle controls. His freighter, the Driftwind, orbited tight. But Jonah's POV stayed locked. No hop. Jonah spun at a junction. Troopers closed. He triggered another breath pulse. Relic hummed. Station monitors galaxy-wide flickered. Human tech resonating again. Troops halted. Helmets sparking. Sarah whooped. Broadcasting coordinates. Viral now. They piled into the aux bay. Shuttle doors hissed open. Engines roared. Sato punched thrust. Craft shuddered free. Station receding. Vance's face filled the cockpit screen. You started a war, Reed. Return. We control this. Jonah clutched the shard. It whispered. Names. Places. Ancestors. Too late. Keth's shuttle pinged pursuit. Alien fleets stirred. Human blocks split. Directorate grabs. Independence rally. Sarah leaned close. Feeds. Exploding. Maps out. Our legacy. Jonah nodded. Breathe steady. Deeper layers pulsed in the shard. Weapons caches. Alliance keys. Truth or power. Alarms screamed. Incoming fire. Sato banked sharp. Strapped tight. Rough ride. Jonah gripped. Stars streaked. But back in the lab, before the dash, Sarah had slipped more. Her capture hit Sato's net. Partial map. Keth's warnings. Unedited. Sato forwarded to fringe nets. Public now. Hours blurred in hyperspace jumps. Driftwind evaded patrols. Sato calculated risks. Contracts voided. Treaties strained. But he sheltered them. Human grit pays debts, Keth hailed, persistent. Read. Meet neutral space. Full archives for your breath data. Jonah eyed the shard. Why fear us? Your kind unlocks without machines. We need vaults, rituals. You. Breathe. Sarah decrypted Keth's partials. Maps matched. Precursor sites under Mars hives, Luna forges, fringe ice worlds, human-built atop graves. Vance struck first. ESD corvettes jumped in, system. Surrender the key. Sato dodged. Not today. Jonah interfaced the shard, cautious. No full breath. Data trickled. Old ones seeded humans. Quiet gift. Mental lock. Aliens bypassed with brute tech, but humans held pure. Betrayal hit. Directorate logs leaked. Vance knew years. Buried digs. Killed witnesses. Sarah pushed. Publish all. Force the choice. Jonah exhaled. Activated partial. Shard beamed proof. Sites live. Awakening. Fleets converged. Alien armadas cautious. Keth's council debated. Humans fractured. Earth grabs power. Colonies claim birthright. Driftwind hit a neutral depot. Extraction teams waited. Sarah's contacts. Keth landed, face to face in a dim hangar. Unedited files. He slid a core. Jonah plugged in. Truth flooded. Precursors fled war. Seeded humanity as heirs. Breath code. Humility test. Power for the disciplined. Vance's forces breached. Blasts rocked the depot. Choose. Keth urged. Truth scatters it. Power centralizes. Jonah breathed full. Shard network lit. Sites galaxy-wide. Legacy-free. No one's weapon. Explosions bloomed on scans. Blocks paused. Aliens withdrew. Overmatched. Sato grinned. Human normal wins again. Jonah pocketed the core. Race over. Truth chosen. But Shard whispered deeper. One sight uncharted. His bloodline's endgame. Stars waited. Captain Elon Sato yanked the power conduit lever. Sparks flew. The depot's lights guttered out, plunging the hangar into strobing emergency reds. Jonah Reed stumbled after him, clutching the shard in his pocket. Its warmth pulsed against his thigh like a second heartbeat. Maintenance corridors loomed ahead. Narrow, grease-slicked tunnels laced with humming pipes. Move, Sato barked. He grabbed Jonah's arm and hauled him through the hatch. Alarms wailed behind them. ESD corvettes had locked the depot's grid. Vance's voice boomed over speakers. Jonah Reed is a terrorist threat. All ports frozen. Surrender the artifact. Sato sealed the hatch with a plasma torch. She's painting you black across the sector. No docking for Driftwind without my say. Jonah's breath came short. The shard's partial activation had lit precursor sites galaxy-wide. Mars hives, Luna forges, fringe ice worlds. Humanity's cities built on graves. Old One's legacy. A mental lock only disciplined humans could pick. Aliens brute-forced tech. Humans breathed it alive. They crawled through ducts. Sato's flashlight beam danced on rusted panels. Jonah's knees scraped metal. Sarah Kwan scrambled behind. Her data core clutched tight. Vance knew for years, she whispered. Logs prove it. Buried digs. Killed witnesses. A drone whine pierced the dark. Kill swarm incoming. Sato cursed. They breached the outer ring. Jonah pulled the shard free. It hummed in his palm. No full interface yet. Too risky. But schematics flickered in his mind's eye, projected like ghost holograms. Precursor maps overlaid the depot's guts. Here, Jonah said. He jabbed a finger at a bulkhead panel. Reroute the airlock seals, bypass their patrol vector. Sato paused. You sure? Jonah nodded. His normal focus, salvage engineer's trick for stubborn xenotech, unlocked it. Aliens needed amplifiers he just visualized. Sato pried the panel. Wires spilled out. Jonah traced the relic's projection. Blue lines snaking to a sealed lock 2 decks down. He spliced conduits by feel. Sparks bit his fingers. Air hissed. A hidden hatch popped open. They tumbled into a sublevel corridor. Drones buzzed past the old seal, fooled by the reroute. Jonah's heart hammered. The schematics faded, but the path ahead glowed, straight to Driftwind's birth. Sarah grinned through the grime. Publish it all now. Force the blocks to choose. Explosions rocked the depot, Vance's teams closing in. Sato kicked open the final hatch. Driftwind's airlock cycled. They piled aboard. Thrusters ignited. The ship lurched free. Jonah strapped into a jump seat. Scans lit. ESD corvettes swarming. Vance's label stuck. Every port denied, but Sato dodged, engines flaring. Neutral drift point ahead, Sato said. Sarah's contacts inbound. A new ping hit comms. Envoy Kefthaler's shuttle matched velocity. Diplomatic codes flashed. Immunity granted. Docking clamps engaged. Keth strode aboard, his iridescent scales catching the cockpit glow. 4 arms folded precisely. I claim observer rights. Seat in the cockpit, now. Sato eyed him. Your council's armada pulled back. Why chase? Keth's multifaceted eyes fixed on Jonah. The breath code. Precursors seeded your kind as heirs. Humility test. You passed partial, but Vance weaponizes it. Earth grabs. Colonies fracture. Truth scatters power. Jonah tensed. The alien knew too much. Keth had demanded unedited files at the depot. Jonah had plugged the core. Flood of data. Old Ones fled a war. Planted humanity with quiet gift. Mental discipline over brute force. Aliens bypassed locks with machines. Humans held pure. Sarah uploaded her docs. It's live. Nets buzzing. Blocks paused. Keth ignored her. He slid into the co-pilot seat, uninvited. One sight uncharted. Your bloodline's endgame, Reed. Shard whispers it. Jonah's pocket warmed. Deeper pull. The partial activation had freed the network. No one's weapon. Fleets withdrew, overmatched by the awakening graves. Sato's grin. Human normal wins, but Keth leaned close. They don't steal gold. They steal a man's ability to talk to the past. Vance's voice crackled through hacked channels. Read, stand down. ESD claims the key. Terrorist designation permanent. Driftwind jumped. Stars streaked. Jonah exhaled slow, full breath. The shard ignited in his hand. Full interface. Visions cascaded. Uncharted sight. Core world ruins. His ancestors' forge. Legacy, not just power. Choice. Sarah's console beeped. Colony fleets mobilizing. Earth corvettes inbound. They want you silenced. Sato banked hard. Pick a vector, Jonah. Truth or run? Keth's claws tapped controls. Truth scatters, but the endgame centralizes everything. Jonah gripped the shard. Schematics bloomed. A path through fringe ice worlds, straight to the uncharted heart. Aliens watched from afar. Their brute tech no match for human quiet. Blocks fractured. Earth for control. Colonies for birthright. Drones, Vance had triggered them station-wide. But Jonah's reroute bought time. Now ports froze, but driftwind slipped the net. Head for the fringe, Jonah said. Activate full. Let them see. Sato punched it. Acceleration pinned them. Keth nodded once. Heirs awaken. Shard's network pulsed galaxy-wide. Sites hummed alive. Mars hive stirred. Luna forges glowed. Humanity's buried past rose, not as weapon, but mirror. Vance's corvettes jumped in pursuit. Scans showed alien observers peeling off, cautious. Jonah felt the pull. His bloodline sight waited. Not power. Test. Betrayal stung. Directorate logs leaked by Sarah. Vance buried it all. Witnesses gone, but truth trickled free. Driftwind hit the ice fringe. Sensors pinged. Precursor beacon. Sato cut thrust. Your call. Jonah breathed deep. Mental lock clicked. Shard beamed. Final chords. Stars aligned. Explosions bloomed, distant. Blocks clashing. Aliens debated. Land us, Jonah said. They dropped through Atmo. Ice cracked under landing struts. Ruins loomed, vast and silent. Keth followed out. This ends the war, they fled. Jonah stepped onto frost. Shard guided to a buried vault. His hand pressed the seal. No tech. Just breath. It parted. Inside, archives glowed. Legacy complete. Humans seated not as rulers but guardians. Power for the disciplined. Aliens' brute paths led to ruin. Human humility endured. Vance's signal chased. Surrender. Jonah activated the core broadcast. Truth flooded every net. Blocks halted. Aliens withdrew. Sarah documented. Choice made. But the vault whispered deeper. One chamber sealed. Blood scan only. Jonah pricked his thumb. Door irised. Hologram ignited. His ancestor. Heir. The real gift. Forget power. Choose peace. Emotional weight hit. Jonah exhaled. Sato clapped his shoulder. Normal wins. Keth bowed. Extra. Fleets stood down. Stars waited. No race. Legacy free. Yet the hologram flickered. War returns. Your quiet defeats it. Jonah pocketed the final core. Truth chosen. Past spoke. Future his. Jonah planted his boots on the fractured ice. Shard pulsing hot in his palm. The vault door loomed. A seamless slab of black alloy etched with faded glyphs. Keth Tala glided forward. Multifaceted eyes gleaming. The alien envoy extended a probing tendril toward the biometric pad. Precursor locks yield to genetic markers. Keth said. Voice a harmonic buzz through the translator. My species cataloged similar sites. Observe. The tendril interfaced. Lights flickered red. A low hum built to a screech. The door stayed shut. Keth retracted. Optics narrowing. Anomaly. Protocols exclude non-primaries. Jonah ignored the chill seeping through his suit. He stepped up. No tools. No hacks. The shard's map ended here. He placed his gloved palm flat against the center glyph. Breathe steady. Hold still. Years salvaging wrecks had drilled that in. Panic-jammed gears, calm turned them. Nothing moved. Keth clicked mandibles. Human persistence noted, but a soft chime echoed. The glyph warmed under Jonah's hand. Scans swept him. ultraviolet webs dancing over his visor, probing deeper. Heart rate, neural spikes, brain rhythms. His mind locked into salvage mode, empty, focused, silent. The door irised open with a hiss of equalizing pressure. Frost crystals swirled inside. Keth froze. Impossible. It demands absolute neural quiescence. No alien achieves that baseline. Jonah stepped through. Normal for us. Let's move. Esra Kwan hustled in behind, recorder drone humming at her shoulder. Captain Sato's voice crackled over comms from the driftwind. Perimeter secure. Vance's pickets are vectoring in. 10 minutes. Get the data. The chamber unfolded. Walls lined with glowing data spires. Air thick with ozone. Central plinth pulsed blue. Jonah approached. No consoles, just a faint neural hum pulling at his skull. Library core, Sarah whispered, eyes wide, intact. Jonah? He placed the shard on the plinth. It sank in. Lights cascaded. A holographic map bloomed. Starfields, seeded worlds. But the hum sharpened. Words formed in his mind, not voice. Neural stability required. Vocalization destabilizes field. Maintain silence. Jonah clamped his jaw. Sarah opened her mouth. Froze as the air shimmered. A warning pulse rattled their suits. Keth's tendrils twitched but held. Scan complete. Human baseline confirmed. Discipline threshold met. Access granted. Data flooded the chamber. Holopanels ignited, projecting timelines. Sarah's drone whirred, copying streams. Jonah watched, unmoving. Images sharpened. Ancient ships. Human crews. Not conquerors. Tenders. They planted biospheres on barren rocks. Worlds bloomed under their hands. Dates predated all records. Earth's cradle? No. Humans had scattered first, guardians of a fragile galaxy. Sarah's fingers flew on her pad, cross-referencing. Her eyes flicked to Jonah. Shock, then fire. She nodded once. Keep going. Keth leaned in, optics whirring. Precursor designation. Humanity Prime. Seeding protocol active 1.2 million cycles prior. Containment breach detected. A new panel flared red. Text scrolled. Current containment entity. Earth Security Directorate. Inherited program. Authorization codes exposed. Codes dumped. Vance's personal matrix. Black budget keys. Sarah's drone snatched them midair. Jonah's pulse quickened, but he forced stillness. The library hummed approval. Truth vector initiated. Broadcast? In his mind. Yes, locked in. No words needed. Alarms blared outside. Sato. Contacts. Directorate corvettes. 2 clicks out. Aliens shadowing. Punch out now! Keth's translator buzzed urgent. This redefines alliances. Humans as precursors. My compact will demand quarantine. Sarah yanked her drone free. Data core ejected into Jonah's hand. Warm. Heavy. The chamber dimmed, seals tightening. Jonah grabbed her arm. They bolted for the door. Keth followed, tendrils coiling. Ice shards exploded under return fire as they sprinted. Driftwind's ramp yawned ahead, thrusters glowing. Laser fire stitched the frost. Sato's turrets answered, precise bursts scattering the lead corvette. They piled aboard. Ramp slammed. Strap in, Sato barked from the bridge feed. Burning hot. G-forces crushed them as driftwind clawed skyward. Jonah clutched the core. Sarah patched her drone to the ship's net. Uploading. Vance's codes first. Let them choke on their own locks. Keth secured a harness, optics fixed on Jonah. Your stillness, it mimics their archived ideal. Brute computation fails. Your quiet endures. Extraordinary. Jonah met the alien's gaze. Just focus. Gets the job done. Vance's face patched through. Holo on the main screen, flanked by Directorate brass. Read, stand down. That's Directorate property. Your stunt ends here. Sarah smirked, fingers dancing. Too late, Director. Library outed you. Inherited containment? Your ancestors buried this to keep us leashed. Vance's eyes hardened. Necessary. Power like that? Blocks weaponize it. Aliens covet it. Surrender the core. The codes flashed on her own screen. Hers, live. Her face paled. Feed cut. Explosions rocked the hull. Alien signatures peeled off, Keth's compact withdrawing probes. Human pickets traded shots but held fire as the broadcast hit every channel. Sarah's upload bloomed across nets, star maps, seeding logs, Vance's branded legacy. Humans didn't conquer. We nurtured. Before history. Before you. Driftwind jumped to slipspace. Silence fell. Jonah leaned back, core heavy in his pocket. Sarah slumped beside him. Proof's out. They can't bury it now. Keth hummed. Your humility seeded peace. Our empire scorched stars chasing dominance. This changes protocols. Sato strode in, wiping sweat. Fleets. Standing down. Blocks in conference. Truth bought us time. But the core warmed. A whisper pinged Jonah's implant. Private. From the library. Deeper archive sealed. Blood key required. Air protocol. Jonah pricked his thumb on a suit knife. A drop hit the core. It ignited. Hologram of a woman. Ancient, stern. His face in hers. Air. The gift isn't power. It's restraint. Wars cycle. Your quiet breaks them. Choose. Emotional weight settled. Jonah exhaled slow. Sato clapped his shoulder. Normal wins, huh? Keth bowed low. Guardians return. Sarah documented the holo. Published this too. But the image flickered. Containment breached. Final vector. War returns. Activate? Jonah stared at the stars streaking past. Truth chosen. Legacy stirred. His hand hovered. Driftwind raced on. Pickets trailed. The galaxy waited. Vance's shadow loomed in the sensors, regrouping. Keth's compact hailed. Alliance or isolation? Sarah pushed. Full reveal. Jonah breathed deep. Stillness again. The core pulsed, hungry for decision. He pressed yes. Deeper data flooded. Weapons caches, hidden fleets. Human designs. Precise. Unyielding, not for conquest. For ending cycles. Alarms wailed anew. Incoming Directorate Dreadnought. Sato spun the ship. Hot extraction. Keth's tendrils linked to Aux console. My compact shields you. Prove the logs. Sarah broadcast the new wave. Blocks fractured. Some demanding access. Others, suppression. Jonah gripped the core. His mind locked calm amid chaos. Lasers glanced off hull. Jump primed. Vance's voice pierced comms. Reed, you're the key. Liability. Surrender. No, Jonah said. Quiet. Final. Driftwind. Vanished into the void. Legacy. Unleashed. Wars paused. Guardians rose, but the core whispered on. One world unclaimed. Seed it. Or end them. Choice burned. Jonah's still hand decided. Lasers scorched the Driftwind's hull. Jonah gripped the library core as the ship shuddered. Alarms wailed. Sato yanked the controls. They're on us. Jump cooldown. 30 seconds. Vance's face filled the bridge hollow. Her strike shuttle clamped to the airlock. Reed. Stand down. Amnesty for you and your crew. Hand over the core. Jonah's fingers tightened on the pulsing artifact. Its warmth seeped into his palm. Calm flooded his mind, his old salvage trick, locking out distractions. The core hummed approval. Sarah Kwan slammed her fist on the console. Amnesty? After you tried to glass us? She patched feeds to her tablet, fingers flying. Captain Ilan Sato glanced at Jonah. His eyes flicked to sensors, Directorate boarding tubes extending. Your call, Reed. We fight, we die. Envoy Keth Toller's tendrils quivered. The alien envoy uncoiled from his station. Captain Sato. Article 17 of the Veil Treaty. Precursor activations trigger orbital sterilization, my compact observes. You stand down, or we enforce. Sato froze, his jaw clenched. Sterilization? That's extinction protocol. Keth's voice clicked precise. For uncontained legacies, humans signed it, Earth first. Jonah's breath steadied. The core whispered interfaces only he heard. Witness mode available. Broadcast truth. He traced a mental glyph. Stillness amid chaos. The artifact brightened. Vance's team breached the inner hatch. Boots thumped down the corridor. Her voice crackled. Containment orders. Secure Reed. Neutralize witnesses. Core to black site. Sarah's eyes widened. She's ordering our deaths. Jonah pressed the trigger. Witness mode. Active. The core linked to every relay in range. Driftwinds, Sato's long-range array, even the trailing pickets. Vance's words beamed out. Raw, unaltered. Directorate vessels confirm kill on static cutter. Shovels exploded in the void. Relays lit up. Block's chatter flooded comms. Vance exposed. Suppressing the leak. Vance snarled on Hollow. Read. Her shuttle's point defense cannon flashed. Era's tablet sparked and died. Shot clean through. Sarah cursed. She yanked Keth's diplomatic implant from his tendril port. Envoy. Your channel. Reroute now. Keth recoiled. Compact law. Do it, Jonah snapped. His calm held the core steady. Upload integrity, 87%. Keth's tendrils linked. Sarah jammed the core's stream through. Diplomatic bands blazed galaxy-wide. Vance's orders hit every embassy, every fleet. Sato-powered weapons. Shields at 40%. We jump or burn. Vance's dreadnought loomed. Boarding teams poured in. Jonah heard them. Mag boots clanging closer. He stood, core in hand. Sarah, full archive. Weapons caches, fleets, the seed directive. Sarah nodded, sweat beating. Uploading, it's out. Can't stop it now. Keth's eyes gleamed. Humans, your stillness unlocks what we sealed. The Guardians were yours. A Directorate trooper kicked in the bridge door. Vance strode behind, pistol raised. Core. Now. Jonah met her gaze. Quiet. No. Troopers leveled rifles. Sato drew his sidearm. Sarah shielded her new link to Keth's console. Vance smirked. Hear a glitch read. Salvage rat with a freak mind. Hand it over. Live. The core pulsed. Deeper archive. Unseal. Jonah's discipline deepened. Glyphs flowed in his thoughts. Data cascaded. Ancient human ships. Hidden in nebulae, not aggressors. Cycle breakers. Worlds seeded. Threats ended. Conspiracy origin. Earth silence. Cycle zero. Buried by your blocks. Jonah's stomach twisted. Earth gone silent? Not war. Cover-up. Vance lunged. Jonah sidestepped. Salvage reflexes. He smashed the core's edge into her wrist. Pistol clattered. Troopers fired. Sato dove, shots glancing off bulkhead. Keth's tendrils whipped, bioelectric shocking one assailant. Sarah screamed as a round clipped her shoulder. Blood sprayed. She kept typing. 90%. Jonah rolled behind console. Core safe. Witness complete. Seed vector active. Vance grabbed a trooper's rifle. Kill him! Sato blasted back. Jump in 10. Keth broadcasted his own log. Compact confirms. Human legacy. Treaty voided. Relays exploded with responses. Alien fleets shifted vectors. Human blocks splintered, some allying, others firing on Vance's dreadnought. Jonah rose. Calm. Locked. He interfaced deeper. Visions hit. Earth, millennia back. Humans awakening the library first. Choosing truth. Blocks burying it. Faking silence to control the reveal. The machine knows. Conspiracy since Earth first went silent. Vance charged. Jonah met her, core humming defense field. Her rifle overheated, dropped. She punched, he blocked. Precise, unyielding. You're ending us, she hissed. No, Jonah said. Revealing us. Sato yelled, jumping. Driftwind lurched, stars warped. Vance tumbled, grabbed a strut. Her team sprawled. Sarah slumped, bandaging her arm. Streams live. Galaxy knows. Keth bowed tendrils. Guardian seed or end. Your choice key. Jonah stared at the core. One world unclaimed, pristine. Seed humanity, anew. Or purge the corrupt cycles. Vance laughed, hanging on. You think truth wins? Blocks will hunt you forever. The ship stabilized. Sensors cleared. Pursuers lost in jump shear. Jonah breathed deep. Stillness. His hand hovered over the final glyph. Sato clapped his shoulder. Normal wins again? Sarah grinned through pain. Publish the seed option too. Keth watched. Compact offers sanctuary. Prove worth. Jonah nodded. Legacy burned bright. Truth over comfort. He traced the seal. Seed activated. Coordinates locked. Driftwind turned toward the unclaimed world. Wars fractured behind. Guardians stirred from sleep. Vance's fleets chased shadows. but the core whispered final. Cycles end. Humans choose. Jonah's grip tightened. They raced on. Galaxy remade. Troopers groaned. Stirring. Vance pulled a knife. Sato kicked it away. "Secure them," Jonah ordered. Sarah cuffed Vance. "You're done, Director." Vance spat. "The blocks built this. To control you freaks like Reed." Jonah ignored her. Core data flowed. Hidden fleets activating. Human designs awakening loyal to truth. Alarms pinged. Incoming allies. Rogue blocks. Compact scouts. Sato grinned. Hot extraction complete. "Where to? Key?" Jonah pointed. "The seed world, before they bury it again." Keth linked nav. Course set. "Treaty shatters." Sarah documented. "All of it. For the record." Vance sneered from cuffs. "You'll spark war. Or end it," Jonah said. Quiet decision. Hand steady. Driftwind accelerated. Legacy bloomed. Sensors lit. Ancient beacons replying. Human ghosts rising. The choice held. Truth spread. Jonah's fingers flew across the glowing glyphs. The core hummed louder. A seam split open in its vaulted chamber. A sleek probe rocketed free. Silver hull catching starlight as it pierced Driftwind's launch bay. Jonah Reed, the core intoned. Voice like grinding stone. "Initiate protocol. Lockdown. Seal archives forever. Handover. Transfer to nearest authority vessel. Choose now." 10 seconds. Alarms blared from the bridge feed on Jonah's wrist display. Sato's voice cut through. "Missiles inbound. Earth Directorate signatures. Vance's dogs. Evading." Jonah glanced at Sarah. She nodded. Hollow recorder capturing every pulse. Keth's multifaceted eyes narrowed from the shadows. Vance twisted in her cuffs, smirking from the deck. No. Jonah rejected the binary. His mind traced patterns from weeks of salvage dives. Mental tricks to block fatigue. Focus through chaos. Human basics. He overlaid them on the relic's grammar. Improvised. Fingers danced. New glyphs bloomed. Broadcast seed. Open legacy. The core paused. Unrecognized command. Syntax invalid.
8 seconds, Jonah muttered. He refined it.
Pulled from old Earth code fragments in the archives. Recursive loops. Adaptive forks. Human ingenuity layered atop precursor rigidity. Seed. Disseminate core truth. Decentralize. Awaken kin. The probe streaked ahead. Core lights flared green. Command accepted. Third path invoked. Sarah whooped. "You did it!" Explosions rocked the hull. Jonah gripped a stanchion as gravity yanked hard. Sato's burn kicked in. 5 Gs, crushing. Jonah's vision tunneled. Muscles burned from the strain. He breathed steady, salvage discipline holding blackout at bay. Bridge cam showed Sato strapped in, face grim. High grease slingshot, shielding the probe its arc canary. Sweat beaded on his brow. Fingers stabbed thrust controls. Driftwind groaned, frame protesting as it whipped around a gas giant's gravity well. Missiles veered, 2 detonating in the plasma wake. Directorate frigate closing, Sato growled. "Quan? Status? Probe's archiving now." Sarah replied over comms. "Broadcasting timestamps to all relays. Unerasable." Keth stepped forward, claws tapping a data slate. "Eyewitness. Compact protocols demand transparency." His voice modulator clicked. Alien precision meeting human haste. He signed the slate with a biometric flash. Public accord logged. Let the council refute these timestamps, or admit the archives predate their claims. Vance laughed from the floor. "Fools, blocks own the narrative. Your seed sparks civil war." Jonah ignored her. The core fed data straight to his implants. Probe signals bloomed across the net. Schematics of ancient human fleets, dormant in nebulae, forged by precursors as guardians. Loyal not to empires, but to truth-bearers. His kind, quiet minds that pierced veils others ignored. Driftwind shuddered. Another missile grazed the shields. Sparks flew from panels. Sato held course. "Probe away clean. We're ghosts now." Jonah pulled from the core. "Sato, vector to seed coordinates. It's live world awakening. Copy that." Engines roared. G-forces eased as they slung free. Sarah knelt by Jonah, bandaging a cut from debris. Vance spilled it. Blocks engineered suppressants. Blocked human psi-links for centuries. Called it stability. Keth's eyes whirred. Your normal disciplines bypassed them. Precursor calibration favored such resilience. We aliens engineered paths. Humans improvised. Troopers stirred in the hold. Sato's security team zip-tied them tight. One groaned. Director's orders. Secure the asset. Assets walking free, Jonah said. He faced Vance. You buried the legacy to control it. Truth decentralizes power. She spat. Comfort kept us alive. Your truth, anarchy. Sarah's recorder beeped, uploading full logs. Galactic nets lighting up. Roadblocks responding. Affirmatives from Mars Collective. Outer Rim holds. Sensors pinged. Incoming signatures multiplied. Not just Directorate hunters, allies. Ancient beacons pulsing reply codes. Human ghosts stirring. Ship's long thought myth. Hulls etched with precursor script. Keth linked his slate to the core. Compact envoy transmission. Archives verified. Human claim predates all treaties. Council in disarray. Sato burst onto the chamber deck, wiping sweat. Hot damn. We're clear. For now. Probes seeded a dozen relays. Data's viral. Jonah nodded. Legacy data flooded his mind. The seed world. A forge planet. Dormant factories stirring. Human designs, precursor gifted. Wars behind fractured as factions scrambled. But Vance's fleets chased shadows. Her knife lay kicked aside, useless now. Captain, Jonah said. Push to seed before they consolidate. Sato clapped his shoulder. Normal wins again? Jonah traced the core's final glyph. It whispered, cycles end. Humans choose. Hand steady. He locked the course. Driftwind accelerated into the void. Alarms shifted tone. New contacts. Awakening fleets hailing. Kin recognized. Truth protocol active. Sarah grinned through fatigue. Publish it all. Keth watched. Signing off another accord. Prove worth. Sanctuary granted. Vance sneered from cuffs. You'll awaken horrors. Or heirs, Jonah replied. Galaxy remade. They raced on. The core pulsed once more. A new interface bloomed. Unseen protocols. Jonah's fingers itched. Another choice loomed. Probe feeds crackled. Seedworld resolved on screens. Continents glowing. Ancient spires rising from dust. Human sigils etched deep. Sato whistled. That's ours? Was, Jonah said. Now, everyone's. Incoming missiles faded as Allied signatures swarmed. Directorate signatures scattered. Keth's modulator hummed approval. Your improvisation. Unprecedented. Precursors anticipated rigid minds. Yours bent the code. Sarah documented furiously. 5. For the record, Jonah Reed composes Third Path, Legacy unsealed. Troopers muttered defeat. Vance slumped silent. Driftwind dove toward the seed. Atmosphere buffeted hulls. Factories online. Churning drones. Assemblers whirring to life. Landing vector. Sato called. Brace. Jonah stood firm. Quiet skill unlocked it all. Truth spread, unstoppable. But core whispered warning. Guardian's query. Worthy? His hand hovered. New glyphs formed unbidden. A language of cycles and seeds. Nobody taught him, yet he knew. Choice again. Lock in the legacy. Or redefine it. Driftwind touched down amid rising spires. Winds howled. Allies orbited above. Sarah gripped his arm. What now? Jonah stepped out. Air thick with ozone. A Guardian drone hovered, scanning. Human key confirmed. Compose ending. 2 paths glowed. Subjugate or submit. Jonah smiled faintly. Fingers moved. Third way. Collaborate. Evolve together. Drone hummed acceptance. Spires blazed. Galaxy watched. Truth over comfort. Humans chose. Jonah's fingers danced across the drone's interface panel. Glyphs flared under his touch. The Guardian hummed, parting to reveal a spire archway. Inside, crystal walls pulsed with archived light. He stepped forward. Sarah followed close. Sato's voice crackled over comms. Perimeter secure. Drones inbound. Friendly signatures only. The arch sealed behind them. A pedestal rose from the floor. Final record. It pulsed in his mind. No one else saw the prompts. Just him. Jonah placed both palms flat, circuits linked, visions flooded, vast shipyards orbiting Sol, human fleets seeding gates across stars, builders in void suits etching networks for peace. Then war. Factions splintered, AI swarms turned feral. Humans chose deletion, erased records, buried legacies. Gates locked to prevent slaughter spilling galaxy-wide. His breath caught. We built it all. He whispered, then wiped ourselves to stop the fire. Sarah's tablet beeped. Recording active. Say it clear, Jonah. Humanity constructed the gates. 2 millennia back. Civil war threatened everything. They self-deleted history. Precursors? Us. Keth's modulator buzzed from the entrance feed. Impossible. Your species. Primitive. Not primitive. Jonah pulled hands free. Pedestal dimmed. Forgotten. Alarms shrieked. Vance's face overlaid the crystal wall. Directorate override code flashed. Read, stand down. Site under reclamation. Your access revoked. Holo feeds multiplied. EarthGov channels. Block streams. Alien observers tuned in. Billions watched. Vance leaned forward. Library witness mode inactive. I control this asset now. Jonah's mind synced deeper. Quiet discipline focused. He traced a counterglyph. Witness mode engaged. Public broadcast. Locked. Her face froze. Authority stripped. Feeds replayed her prior orders. Suppress. Weaponize. Eliminate witnesses. You lied, Jonah said. Voice calm over open comms. Tried to bury it again. Vance slammed a fist. Traitor. Security teams, breach now. Troopers hammered the arch. Drones outside clashed. Sato barked orders. Hold the line. Sarah yanked Jonah's arm. Sitemap. Release it. He nodded, pulled the full archive. Gate coordinates. Seed worlds. Factory blueprints. Flooded public nets. Data surged. Every holoscreen galaxy-wide lit up. Shared access, Jonah announced. No one's owning this. Vance's feed glitched. Abort. Block the... Too late. Charters auto-generated. Alien oversight protocols activated. Keth's coalition first to ping acceptance. Earth block scrambled. Rivals from fringe worlds jumped in. Keth's voice cut through. Human key enforces equity. Protocols bind us all. Joint expedition mandatory. Troopers outside fell back. Sato reported clear. Drift winds fueling. We go public or go dark. Public, Jonah said. Pulled from the pedestal. Archway reopened. Vance's face vanished. Feeds showed her arrest, live, from her own command deck. Sarah grinned. Truth. Sticks now. Jonah led them out. Ozone thickened. Spires thrummed. Central gate loomed, ringed in ancient alloy. Glyphs cycled. Reboot sequence. His input echoed. Collaborate. First gate powered up. Horizon warped. Stars twisted into a new aperture. Captain Sato waved from the ramp. Fleet signatures inbound. Allies, rivals, all racing. Keth approached, tendrils flexing. Your third path, it queries us. Worthy? Jonah met the envoy's gaze. We'll prove it, together. Driftwind's engines roared. They boarded amid howling winds. Sarah strapped in. Tablet still recording. For the record. Gates open. Humanity leads. Without chains. Jonah took the co-pilot seat. Screens filled. Expedition fleets converging. Earth blocks conceded charters. Alien armadas pledged oversight. Gate fully spun. Aperture stabilized. A frontier world gleamed beyond. Untouched seed. Sato punched coordinates. First through? Jonah nodded. Show them how. Thrust pinned them back. Driftwind surged. Gate swallowed the ship. Stars streaked. Behind, factions piled in. Race begun. Legacy unlocked. Truth demanded action. But the core whispered anew. Guardians assess. Cycles turn. Evolve, or repeat deletion. Jonah flexed fingers. Ready. Deeper in the gate's echo, anomaly pinged. Not seed. Something older. Watching. They barreled toward it. Unknown awaited.